All right, so in this lesson, we're going to be solving problems involving more than one right triangle. All right, so basically we're going to have diagrams here where there are two right triangles, and we would have to find a certain length. So what you'll find is that with the two right triangles, they will actually share a common side. So let's just go into this first example here. So if I want to calculate the length of xy, so xy is right here. Label that as x. All right. What you'll notice here is that I only know that for this triangle, I only know that the angle here is 22 degrees. We don't have any more information about this smaller triangle here, so therefore we can't find the length of x right away. But what you do notice is that it does share a side right here. It does share this side here with the other right triangle. All right, so if I can find the length of this red side here, then I'll have another piece of information for the smaller triangle, and then I should be able to find the length of x. All right, so your first step when you're solving these is to find the length of the shared side. All right, so I want to find the length of xw using this large triangle. So what I'm going to do here, and oops, that's not very straight. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to redraw this just with the one triangle. So this is, again, the triangle YWZ. And I know that this is 20 degrees. This is 90 degrees here. This is 8.4. And again, the red line here is the common side. So this is the one that I'm going to try to find first. All right, so let's just call that length x here. All right, so yeah, so we'll use SOHCAHTOA and find the length of x there. Okay. So my first step here is to label the side. So if this is the angle I'm working with, this is going to be the opposite side. Oh, I forgot. The first side that I usually label is the one across the 90 degrees, which is the hypotenuse. All right, and I'm not even going to bother labeling this side because it's blank. So yeah, so looking at this diagram here from SOHCAHTOA, I want to choose the ratio with opposite and hypotenuse, which is the first one here. Right. So if I set up the equation, it's going to be sine of 20 degrees is equal to opposite, which is x, over my hypotenuse, which is 8.4. Okay. Now to solve for x, what I need to do here is multiply both sides by 8.4. All right, so that this will cancel with this. And we get x equals 8.4 times the sine of 20 degrees. Okay, so as a result, let me punch that into the calculator. 8.4 times the sine of 20 equals 2.87. Centimeters. Okay. Yeah, so that is the length of the shared side, right? So this side right here is 2.87. All right, so now we should actually be able to find the length of yx. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw the smaller triangle with the information we know. Now the other thing is this is a line, right? So if this is 90 degrees, this other side must also be 90 degrees because angles on a line at 180. So we can assume that that angle there is 90 degrees. So I want, in this step now, I'm going to find the length of yx, so the green line here. So I'm going to label this x. This angle inside here is 22 degrees. And we found in the first step here that this length here is 2.87 centimeters. All right, so I do have enough information now to find the length of x in this case. Right. So again, first thing I'm going to do here is label the side. So across from the 90 is my hypotenuse. I'm working with this angle here, so this is my adjacent side. And the blank side over here, which I'm not going to bother labeling, is my opposite side. All right, so the SOHCAHTOA, I want to use the ratio that has adjacent hypotenuse, which is the second one here, which is cosine. The way I set this up is cosine of 22 degrees equals adjacent, which is 2.87, over hypotenuse, which is x. All right, so now to solve for x, let's set up a cross multiplication. So x times cosine of 22 degrees equals 1 times 2.87. And divide both sides. All right, so now to solve for x, I'm going to divide both sides by cosine of 22 degrees. These cancel. And therefore, x is going to equal. All right, so let's punch that in and see what we get. 2.87 divided by cosine of 22 equals, all right, so 3.095. And we can round that to 3.1. Okay. Cool, guys. So yeah, so that is basically these questions here, or this lesson here is you'll find that two triangles share a common side. You'll have to find that common side first and then apply it to the second triangle. And yeah, so for this equation, or for this problem, turns out to be 3.1 centimeters. All right, guys.